Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. We are going to attempt to do the rest of the death of Jesus, starting in verse 49 of Matthew chapter 27, verse 49. Without further ado. But the rest said, "Wait, let's see whether Elijah comes to save him." Then Jesus shouted out again, and he released his spirit. At that moment, the curtain in the sanctuary at the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook, rocks split apart, the tombs opened, the bodies of many godly men and women who had died were raised from the dead. They left the cemetery after Jesus' resurrection, went into the holy city of Jerusalem and appeared to many people. The Roman officer and the other soldiers at the crucifixion were terrified by the earthquake and all that had happened. They said, "This man truly was the Son of God." And many women who had come to Galilee with Jesus to care for him were watching from a distance. Among them were Mary Magdalene, Mary, the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of James, John, and the sons of Zebedee. Now, we're going to try to squeeze this into as few videos as possible. Not as many videos, but as few as reasonably possible. Cross-references. Matthew 27:48. And by the way, that was the end of the death of Jesus. We will look at the other part. We will start looking at the other part tomorrow. Anyway, as I was saying, cross-references. Matthew 27:48. And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar and put it on a reed and gave him to drink. Matthew 27:50. Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. Matthew 1:1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Matthew 27:47. Some of them that stood there, when they heard that, said, "This man calleth for Elias." Matthew 27:46. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, "Eli, Eli, lama," that is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Matthew 27:51. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom. In other words, ripped or torn into from top to bottom. And the earth did quake, and rocks rent. In other words, the rocks split. Matthew 27:52. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose. Now we're going to jump to verse 50, as well as some more cross-referencing. Cross-references. Matthew 27:49. The rest said, let us see whether Elijah will come to save him. And Jesus cried with a loud voice and gave up the ghost. Look. And Jesus cried with a loud voice and gave up the ghost. Matthew 23:46. When Jesus had cried with a loud voice, he said, Father, unto thy hands I commend my spirit. And having thus gave him up the ghost. He gave up the ghost. John 19:29. Now there was set a vessel full of vinegar, and they filled a spung with vinegar and put it upon hyssop and put it on his mouth. Hyssop is a piece of wood that was made into a reed. John 19:30. When Jesus therefore had received the vinegar, he said, It is finished, and he bowed his head and gave up the ghost. Matthew 5:7. Who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him that was able to save him from death, and was heard that he feared. And was heard and that he feared. Matthew 1:1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Matthew 27:48. And straightway one of the men ran and took a spung and filled it with vinegar and put it on a reed and gave him to drink. To be continued. We will see you on the next one.